Hello friends, in this training I want to talk about Microsoft Power BI. To understand what Microsoft Power BI is, the BI first of all means business intelligence. It's important to look at the four stages of executing your Power BI. The first one is getting your data. So working with Microsoft Power BI, most times you need to go through these four stages. So the first stage is to get your data. This data could be gotten from your MS Excel, could come from your SQL, could come from Python, could come from R, or any other data source that you know. So when you take it to Microsoft BI environment, you need to transform this data. So once it's transformed, you can now build and format visuals. Once you've gotten what you want, then you can now save it and publish it. So let me show you an example of the data that we're going to use. If you recall, we've been working with this Excel document. Then on the last section here, I have something to do with product. So here, this is a database of different products that we bought from 3 shopping complexes. You know, the essence is to find out, compare prices, to know whether it's cheaper to buy a particular product from a particular shopping complex compared to the other. So you can see here the 3 shopping complex we're using here are Walmart, we have Cedi, or we have Sahad. Walmart, Cedi Plaza, Sahad stores. So we have them and we have the items. You can see rice was bought at this date, rice again, then we'll go to dried beans. Then of course we have bottled water, we have vegetables, we have milk. And these are the prices and these are the dates that these products were bought. So now I want to export this database to Power BI and I want to show you how we can analyze this and draw insight from this database. So what do we do? The first thing is to click to open Power BI. If the Power BI is already installed in your system, click open. Then you have to get data from a source. So you click on that, you wait. The system is now asking you what data source you want to bring in this data. In this case, we click on Excel workbook and we click connect. So once you do that, the system opens. You choose a folder that has your database. Now mine is already showing here. So you look for wherever it is and bring it and then click to connect it to the system. So the system is connecting to the database. So you give it some time. Once it is connected, all the sheets, you see these are the sheets that we have in that database. So we have, let me show you again. On that database, we have, that's the database we've been using all along in our data analysis. So all this will automatically appear, including the one we are working on. So the one we are working on is called product. So this is how it is. So you can click here. Once you click here, the system will preview it. So is this your data? So you see the data has been brought in. So you can see we have a total of 60 records here. If it's the data, then you have to check on it. Once you check on it, you see that load transform data appears. So load means I can load this data directly to the Power BI environment to work with, or I can further transform this data, readjust it the way I want it, or format it the way I want it using Power Query. So how do you do that? So you click on transform data. Let me just show you how the environment is. So it opens to Power Query editor and it has that database here. So there are a lot you can do here. So let me just take you through. If you look at this, you see that we have the new query, we have data source, we have query and transform and many other features here. So we're going to see how we can use this. But going back straight to the data, Then we also have apply step. So anything we're going to do here will be reported here. So if you don't like it, you can just click on X to take out that current change out to return it back to the original way. So let me show you how we can format on this. So again, you can see we have serial number, store, product, price, and date. If I don't want serial number, so I could just right click here and I could tell it to remove this column. So I'll click on remove. So you see that is gone. Then it is reported here that I removed a column. So if I mistakenly did that, I can bring it back by clicking on this sign and the system brings it back. But I really want it out. So I now have store, product, price, and date. Then don't forget, this date is just date, but these are the dates that these products were purchased. So I will just double click on this, then I'll type date purchase. That represents the date these items were purchased. Then I'll go to products. Under products, I have, okay, after typing date purchase, I can click outside or press enter. So the system will tell you that a column has been renamed. Then for the product, you can see I have rice, beans, and the rest of them. So I don't want milk. I don't want to work on milk here, for example. So I will just click here, then I'll just check out milk. So once I do that, milk has been removed. So the products I'm going to analyze will be rice, dried beans, bottled water, and vegetable. So if I'm through with my changes, if I'm through with my changes, then I can now come here and click close and apply. So I'll wait for the system to load my modified database into my Power BI, telling me that 48 data has been loaded. So you can see from here on the data section, we have the products. So let me just take you around the environment. This is the Power BI environment. This first section is called the report view. Then here you will have the table view, then you have the model view, and you also have another section here which is called the dashboard query view. So the model view is normally used if you have multiple tables that you want to relate together. And then the table view automatically displays that table that we're working on. We have imported in which we want to work on. Displays the table. Then the report view is where you can view your visuals. So you see here, view visuals with your data, select or drag fields from the data pane onto the report canvas. So this is where you can view visuals and read meaning out of what you have. Of course, we have under visualization, we have different kinds of graphs here and many other things you can do. We use all this for you see how it works. And of course, under products, you see this is our products that is here. Then on top, we have this section talks about the data, different data sources you can use to bring in your data. Then you can do query from here. Then you can insert either new records or text from here. Then of course, you can do calculations here. Then another one you can share the product. So that's basically how it is. So we're going to start by bringing in. So I'm going to click here to open to expand on the product. So on expanding, I have store, I have product, I have price, and I have date purchased. So the first thing I'm going to do will be to bring out some of the fields to the report view for analysis. So I'll click on store, then I'll also put price. So I've selected the store and the price. So on clicking on this, the store and the price, this is what I have. I'm going to drag this down. So look at where you have these three dots. Just click it and drag it down. So you can see the three stores that I have, and you can see the prices. So this doesn't really make so much sense. This is telling me the amount of money I spent on those three stores. So what I'm going to do will be to go to the under visualization. I will look for stack column chart. Then I'll click here, and this is what the system gives me. So I can expand this. But you can see from here that these three stores have the same color. So in order to differentiate them, what I'm going to do will be to click on store, then drag it down to legend. Immediately I do that, you can see that those stores are now differentiated with their respective colors. So here you can just see very easily how much was spent in each of these stores. So the price section is here and the stores are here. So you can see from here that I spent the lowest amount in CD store. Then the next one was Sahad, but I spent the most amount in Walmart. So that of course can come as a result of the prices of items being sold there. So I'm going to minimize this. So this basically shows me the stores, how much I spent on each of the stores, and of course the total price. But I want to see what I spent based on the product. So I'm going to bring in another set of fields. So this time around I'm going to pick store, product, and price. So store, product, and price gave me this. So you can see store, product, and price. So if you like, you can extend this to see all store, product, and price. So I'm going to draw a graph of this. This time around, I'm going to pick clustered column chart. So once I click here, this is what I have. So I'm going to expand this. So I'll bring this over here. I want to put the two of them side by side so that I can have a better view of what's happening. So looking at this second graph, you can see the different products and of course the prices that accompany them. So the legend here shows the different colors for different products and of course their prices. This first product is bottled water, and you can see the amount that was spent there. Second one is dried beans. You see the amount that was spent. Then this is rice, and the next one is vegetable. So you can see for all of them. Then so this is showing all the products and of course the prices. So you can compare. For example, now this red column here is showing the dried beans. So when I went to Walmart and bought dried beans, this was how much I spent. But when I went to Sahad and bought the same product, the same quantity, around the same time, this is what I spent. And when I went here and bought this is what I spent. So you can see from here that the price of dried beans was cheaper in Sahad stores compared to Walmart and City Plaza. The two of them got almost the same amount of money. So you can also do the same for all other items that are listed here, for vegetables, for rice, and the rest of them. Okay, so if you look at this, you see the title of this. This is supposed to represent the total amount I spent in the stores. So you can see the title is sum of price by store, by store and store, while this one is sum of price by store and product. So I can change these titles. So how do I do that? First, I will click here, then I'll go to this button here. It's called format your visuals. Then I'll click on general, then I'll go to title. Then from here, I'll just change this title to price, something like price by stores. So that has been done. So I'll click this one too, and I'll change this one to product, price by stores based on products. Price by stores based on products. So I've changed the title of these two. The next thing I'm going to do will be to show the data on each of these two graphs here. So I'll click the first one here. I'll go to visuals. Then I'll go to data. You can see it's up. I click data is showing there. Then I'll also come to this one. I'll come to this and I click visuals. I'll go to data and I set data on. So I've brought out the data for these two graphs. We'll notice here that what the system has done is to round up all these numbers. These are all whole numbers. But in our original data, let me just take it there, so that we had decimals here. So we want it to appear exactly the way it should be without the round up, without the numbers being rounded up. So I'll click here. Then under visuals, I'll click on data labels. Under data labels, I'll move down to values. I'll click on values. Then I'll scroll down to where you have display unit. I'll change photo to none, and you can see the numbers now are appearing exactly the way they're supposed to be in their right decimal places. So I will do the same thing for this one too. I will go to data labels, then I'll go down to value, and I'll go down to display unit and I'll now say none, and it's also appearing in its right decimal places. So you can see that this gives a lot of insight. This is the total by store. So we could still go back to here, then change the title to total. Okay, under general, this is total by store, total by stores. I'll click outside. So you can see this gives a clear picture of what is really happening. So I spent the lowest amount in City Plaza on the commodity that I bought, total commodity that I bought, and the next lowest amount was in Sahat stores, and the highest was in Walmart. Then in terms of items, all their prices are distributed here. So this can now give me an informed view about where to buy what item anytime that I want it. So this is what Power BI helps you do, helps you to visualize the data that you have when you bring it in there in the way that you can read a lot of meaning to it, and of course work with it. So having done that, I'm going to save this my project. So I'll click on publish, and the system is asking me to type in my email address. But before I do that, I would love to save this. So I'll go to file, so I'll click save as, so I'll choose desktop, and I'll give a name food product. Food product. You can see the extension is .pbix. Then I'll click save. So I've saved this product in the desktop environment. Then of course I can always retrieve it anytime I want it. Okay, the other thing we can do can be to publish this, and of course you can also go ahead to share it and share the link with others. So that's basically the first experiment with Microsoft Power BI. Thank you for listening.